Good morning, YouTubers. This is what a acclimation should look like. It's dark. It's real dark. Okay. That's how we like to keep it around here in the Bach family. I'm going to use a little light though. Let me get it real quick. There it is. Okay. Alright. I'll show you a little bit. A little LED light here. So this is what I got from Marinefishez. Okay. This is from David. He's the owner of it. And he is absolutely top notch when it comes to shipping. He sent me this right here. It says let me get it out right. I'm trying to keep it, I like to keep it dark in here for the fish, you know. It says Jeremy, please turn power heads off till new fish get comfortable. Feed plain frozen brine shrimp first. And he gives you this big long drip acclimation method, and it he tells you exactly what to do. It's much more thorough than I've seen from any other place I've ordered fish from. I've ordered fish from Vivid Aquariums, Live Aquaria, and Blue Zoo Aquatics, and I just think that his directions are much more thorough. His prices were a little bit higher, but by no means is that anything to deter you from I think buying fish from David. I'm going to go in the other room now and speak a little more of him where I can get some lights on and talk to you guys. So David's really unique in the aspect that, see if everybody can flip this thing around. So yeah, David's unique in the aspect that when I called him, I thought I'd talk to some other sales representative. Well, I ended up talking to David. He gave me his personal cell phone number the first night that we talked, or afternoon. I think we talked on the phone almost 45 minutes just about fish stuff in general. That's partly due to me just flapping at the gums quite often, being from the South. We like to talk a lot. But he told me his methods of how he keeps his fish and at his store, and he keeps a salinity low to help prevent diseases from starting and or outbreaking. He just warned me that I need to do a drip acclimation. So what I'm going to do, and I'll have a part two, is I'm going to have a 5-gallon bucket. I have a small heater that I put in my bucket, and I know it's made by Aqueon. It's the one you can get at PetSmart, and it's adjustable. It's made for a 20-gallon aquarium, so it's only about 5 or 6 inches long, which it can fit just inside of a 5-gallon bucket going long ways. But I had that adjusted to where the water height will only be about 7 or 8 inches, and the temperature will be around tank temperature. Some people just put a cover over the bucket, but I think when you're doing a slow drip acclimation, and like right now it's winter time in North Carolina, so we keep, well, technically it's still fall, but we keep our house at like 65. Well, the tank water is 79, so that's a drastic temperature drop. It's very important that you keep the temperature the same when you acclimate. I like to use the Reef Gently drip acclimation box, but that acclimates a little bit too fast sometimes. And David is unlike a lot of other places where he keeps his salinity very low. I usually test the water that I get when I order fish to come in the bag. But with David, I feel very confident that there's no need for me to even test the water. I know it's probably being a little arrogant, but David sent me from Marinefishez. He sent me videos of my fish. David is very knowledgeable about fish. He goes and he hand picks these fish from the distributor. I guess we can call it a warehouse, and it's called sunpet.com. I hope I'm not sounding like a salesman here. Excuse me. I've been in the military for 10 years. I'm kind of a detail-oriented person, so I just like to tell you the details of things. I'm not so much pitching anything. But he handpicks a fish. He sends you a video of the fish. He updates you. He lets you know if there's any problems with the fish. We had a blue assessor that just came in. I have no doubt that it'll be healthy as an ox. It's floating right now. I got about 10 more minutes left on the float. I usually float them for about 15 minutes. Luckily, we have a warm front coming through North Carolina, so the temperature in North Carolina is around 70 this morning. So I don't think the temperature will be too drastic in the bags. But going back to my point, though, David's was just very, you don't feel like a number when you're dealing with him. You feel like someone who really cares. He sent me a video when he got the fish and right before shipment, and he takes a lot of extra precautions that you don't really think of. Like he puts extra UPS labels on the box so that the handlers don't have to move the box up and down and turn the fish upside down and stuff. Which all that does help. I mean, sometimes it's those little things that keep that fish alive. These fish are fragile or delicate. Some fish, like for example, jawfish and certain wrasses don't ship very well, and I think it's important that every little step be taken. He's very informative, though, and I like that David treats everyone as if they're new to the hobby and don't know anything, and I like that because it's better that he assumed that people don't know anything and have thorough directions as opposed to thinking that they know everything and that it's implied, or it's their thought process is that they already know that you know a jerk acclimation method. I mean, you might be brand new to reefing and keeping saltwater, and we all know that a lot of people get into this hobby and they just we've heard the horror stories of people just literally getting a saltwater fish and just dropping it in the tank, not acclimating it, this and that. So I think it's important that he breaks it down Barney style, is what we call it in the military, and I think that's really great. So I'm going to send you an update of when I have the fish in the bucket. Like I said, I don't like to have a lot of lights on. I like to keep it nice and dark in the acclimation. I think that's important. My lights will come on at 4 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock now. Unfortunately, I'm going to drip acclimate them. I want to drip acclimate them until the salinity starts moving up. I want to see what the salinity is in the bag. And once the salinity starts moving up and gets pretty close to 1.026, I want to dump them in. And I'm hoping that doesn't take, more than 2 hours. But it may. But I'll keep you updated. Again, my videos aren't the most pristine. I don't have all these flashy. I try to speak to you with knowledge, intellect, and I'm sorry if I don't have all the little gee whiz backgrounds and noises and sound overs, and but I'm also somebody that will bring you accurate information and not all this other horse shit you get. So anyways, this is part 1, and we'll be back with part 2 in about 15 minutes. Thanks, guys.